All right, ladies, how we doing?
Good.
Good.
So,
Sure.
y'all want to know something really funny? It's
Yeah.
not funny, but it's funny.
Okay.
So, I do acupuncture, and Laura knows this. I do acupuncture for my anxiety, and we did something where it was still acupuncture with a little bit of e-stim, which I've had before. Like I've had dry needling with e-stim or acupuncture with e-stim, and was fine. But like for whatever reason, like she hit a trigger point just right where like now I can't breathe without pain. Like behind my right shoulder blade, like it feels like someone's just so like anytime like I can't sneeze without pain, like training is a nightmare and like talking is a nightmare, especially when I get super excited and I like that fucking hurt, right? So I'm like, how did that work? I do this for anxiety, and now guess who's fucking anxious because she's in pain? I was like, universe be funny. Universe be funny.
How long ago was that?
Tuesday.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Should simmer down, but
Yeah. Have you ever had that before?
I have had trigger points that are like really uncomfortable. But yeah, it shouldn't last too long.
Well, I hope not. I was really pissed about it. But, like, I mean, I'm not pissed about it. It was like, actually, you know what? I am really proud of myself for not being pissed about it. Because, like, any type of ache or sensation is like, especially when you're still, like, in prep, you're just kind of like, oh my god, one more fucking thing that's broken, it hurts. But, like, I'm handling it really well. Like, yeah, it sucks, it's unfortunate, but, like, it just is. So, therapy! Therapy, motherfuckers.
All
Y'all are
right.
quiet today. I either. Yeah, and, like, any crazy reaction?
Can you hear her? Because I can't hear her.
Julia's really. She's fuzzy. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because Laura's pretty clear. And I'm pretty clear, but Julia
Yeah.
it looked fuzzy.
I had said that to her before you even signed on. I was like,
Okay.
look like you're like breaking up.
Yeah, she looked a little fuzzy. But how are you? You seem quiet, but I also know I'm like energetic as fuck, so I'm sorry.
I'm good. No,
You're good.
ready. That's better.
Yeah.
Good.
Much
can
more
hear me okay?
clear. Are you on Wi-Fi? Yeah.
It's
Yeah, now you're still back to being kind of.
yeah.
Shit. Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi. Damn. Let me try something.
Interesting.
Well, your hair looks really
Still
nice, Laura.
nothing?
I like how it's
Yeah.
foofing today. Are you ever gonna go red?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Julia, it's still dog shit. I'm sorry.
We're gonna be real with you.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
It's I hear you. It's just like it's
It's
not
probably
quality.
not,
Yeah.
Hmm.
It sounds like you're talking in
I
someone's
wonder.
butt.
Shit. I wonder why. I'm on like
It,
my
it
better
started
of the
like
two
this last
computers.
week, but then like worked itself out.
Yeah, I wonder if I can just hold on. What
You're fine,
about
take your
now?
time.
Is it better now?
It mm, your audio is muffled, and your video it looks like a Picasso painting where it just went.
Oh no.
What is the filter you use? That the eyes are like bugged. Like I kind of see that. Like parts are blurred, parts are.
Yeah,
Damn. Hold on.
you're fine. Take your time. Like it's not like
Well, I mean, there's nothing I can really do because it's the same one that I used last week. So, shit. Let me see if I could just use my laptop video. But
sure.
that's gonna be shitty, but it's fine.
I mean, maybe it's shitty, or maybe it's the problem. Like,
Have you been having issues with it with other things, other podcasts?
I mean, just the recording issue. All right, talk, Julia. Speak.
Can you hear me? Is this better?
Actually, yeah. To me, it is.
Yeah. Laura?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. You sound a
Alright.
little soft, but
Oh, man. Son of a. All right. How's this?
better.
Better.
Good. Okay.
Cool.
All right,
Cool.
let's do this.
All right, well,
So,
actually, let's get started now that we have technical difficulties out of the way. Ladies, how are we?
we're good.
Good. Good. We're hot and humid. Laura loves that. I hate it.
Like I was saying to her, I was like, I don't mind it. Like, I kind of like the like tropical jungle weather. Like, brings out the, nice and mobile. You don't feel like everything hurts. Fuck it. I live in the wrong environment. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys like live up there together, so I can like understand where like maybe it's a nice break, because obviously you guys get snow and shit. But for me, it's like we live in a swamp, so it's like people keep asking me it's hot, and it's like it's August in fucking Charleston, South Carolina. Like, yes, it's hot, it's swampy. It has been hot and swampy since like the tail end of May, but like
Wow,
it's
that's a
just
long time.
yeah, it'll last probably till September. And that's when hurricanes blow in. So it has been raining like a torrential downpour at least once a day for like 30 minutes to an hour
Does that at least cool everything off?
for like 10 seconds. And then like, I don't know, something happens where it just goes back to swamp.
Gotcha. Is this your peak week? No, next week. Yes.
It starts I don't know. It starts Saturday, starts Sunday, but like
From
there's
Saturday.
Yeah, it's like Saturday I'm not doing anything, right? It's like I'm resting and walking and eating. But Sunday is when you start like the peak week plan in terms of like training, but like I don't have my outline yet, but like there isn't going to be any nifty tricks like we've been filling out for the past 5 weeks maybe. Like I got another food bump today and I'm just eating. Like I'm just
Okay.
eating. Yeah.
Well, things looking good too. I saw you today. I
Yeah.
was running around trying to do million different things before starting this, but the most recent one you just posted on your stories looks good.
Thank
Looks
you.
like-
I appreciate that.
Comfortable.
Yeah. Your flow is really nice. Very nice.
Do you want to know the secret? I'll tell you guys why the flow is so nice. Inside my head, like in my headphones, I'm like blaring music where like it hurts, but like that's what stage is. But all that I'm doing in my head is I'm going step, step, step. Like I sound like a goddamn metronome because that's what I need to do to not rush and get ahead of myself. And so it's like I literally say step, step, step. So that's the secret. That's the secret for me is just fucking being a metronome inside your head.
Yeah. That's really good because adrenaline is naturally going to rush you anyways once you're up there.
Yeah.
So it's nice to, like, I always tell my girls, like, slow it down, like, as you're practicing, because naturally you're just going to be running through it a little quicker on stage, whether that's the expediter rushing you or just you rushing yourself. So,
Yeah.
You're, in your head, you always feel like you're going at such a different pace than your actuality. Like I remember when I first saw the video back from Rhode Island, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I live with the Energizer Bunny, and in my mind, I was like, "This is taking forever. I should probably hurry up." Like,
yeah, same. I feel that way
So
too sometimes.
funny.
And I practice, I'm opposing coach, so I practice all the time. So it's like, and I do the same thing. I do counts and whatnot just to kind of slow it down. And especially with like the camera shots. So you see a lot of like when girls transition too quickly, they're screwed on their shots, like their stage shots.
that's a good
So-
point.
Yeah. So as like a photographer, like on the side, I think of, okay, it takes 3 seconds. So stay in your mandatory pose, and then in your transitions, do 1.5 so they can get that shot.
That's very smart.
Yeah, that's great advice. I like
And
that.
do your mandatories.
Yeah.
Don't skip your last one because you're rushed. Anywho,
Well, that like almost wasn't your fault because like she was like in your
arms
space.
like halfway through the
Was
Right.
that universe?
universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I saw that and I got really sad for you. I was like, she didn't even get to finish.
Like, that's my best shot. God damn it! Like that was the
Yeah.
one good one.
Yeah. I always tell girls, like, you've worked so hard, like, don't like take your time where they're like literally rushing you off stage like a hook, like pulling you off stage. But like,
well, in a sense though, it's not judged, so that's probably their like
They're just letting us do our thing
Yeah.
for videos
Yeah.
to
Yes.
purchase. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
She goes
I-
to purchase.
Had a big win this week. This is the fastest I've ever gotten my period back competing.
Dang.
Awesome. That's huge.
I was like, woohoo, it works. Okay, now shut it off. Done. Like, shut it off.
Yeah.
You make it sound like you're getting your pipes checked by a plumber. All right, shut it off. All right, we're good. Well, there's water flowing. There's water flowing.
Cut it off right now.
Cut it off. Simmer down.
We're done. It works.
We're done.
That's too funny. That's amazing, though. That's really, really good, especially because you're still, in my opinion, relatively lean.
Yeah.
So, like, what are you up from show day? Like, stage weight?
Let's not talk about this.
All right,
I'm
that's
just
okay.
kidding.
We don't
No,
have to.
no, honestly, when I was like letting myself eat more freely, I got back up to like 119 and I'm back down to 115.8 now that I've actually like reeled it in and started not just eating whatever. But part of why I wanted to do that is because I wanted to feel like I could intentionally do a growth phase, like push phase, whatever you want to call it, from here. And I didn't want to be like here, there, and everywhere, because in the past, honestly, I've had that issue that I wasn't as controlled with my nutrition intake, and that's for me when I end up having to like push up food higher than I want to, and my stomach doesn't love that. So trying to have that like happy medium, and pull back. What I really wanted to do was pull back expenditure, and I have done that because I felt better mentally about not being all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, it's
That's
really
awesome.
hard to do that. Like when you have like your high stepper athletes, it's like due to their job, maybe they work at a place where it's like a warehouse, or maybe they're a trainer themselves, or maybe they like work with dogs or work with children and they're constantly on the go, or they're fucking nurses. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
we can't ask them to ride around in a wheelchair. That's not practical, but it does make, calorie balance really tricky as a coach, because you're like, God damn it, just like sit in a wheelchair for 5 seconds, but you can't. You know what I'm saying? But like sometimes I want to gift some of my clients like Heelys and just like let them roll. You know what I'm saying? Just like roll. It's like, woo. You know what I'm saying? But like I also get it because, even though my job didn't require me to be a high stepper, like I was, in that exercise addiction where, yeah, I got to eat a lot of food, but now it's like I have a step cap, which I love. I love being able to tell myself that you get to rest with the cap. But now I kind of feel like I'm fucking myself up for my off season because my food is so fucking high right now. And I'm like, damn.
This is something that I've really learned this time around. Is I had this weird, like, once something was applied or changed or became, the new food intake, whatever, that's it. It's a forever thing. And that's not the case. You can have your food high, but eventually weight's going to start to, accumulate and all of the things. And there is also a place for pulling food back down.
That's true. But like even right now, it's like we are filling out and we're not even anywhere close to spilling. So it's like my stage weight could be like 120, which is like, that would be really fucking cool because like my first stage weight was 113, right? So like to put on 7 pounds, like that makes me feel really good because I know it's a fuller look and not like this shrimpy depleted look that I brought to the stage the first time that like I was really bummed about because like I just couldn't hold fullness. But now it's like things are starting to stick and it's sticking in the right places. But still, it's like, eating 480 grams of carbs, 75 grams of fat, like that's still a lot of fucking food. And granted, like it's nice right now because like even though I'm not hungry, I'm food focused. Like eventually, like it will be good to start using more like higher caloric foods just for the sake of like, and like more fun foods. But like obviously I'm not adding in a bunch of like artificial bullshit right now, like Pop-Tarts, because like being 1 week out, it's like you're not adding new foods at that point. You know what I'm saying?
That's a gamble.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, having more fun with like honey, like really caloric dense foods.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I've changed my feelings on solely eating nutrient dense food in off season. I would say I do usually like 5 meals. Out of 5 meals, I have 1 meal per day that I have something like fun that I want to eat. Like I'll do like they're like mini gluten-free cookies, I'll have a couple of those or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But like, the thought of that would have like put me in.
Yeah, and I think
Don't-
like the also like some athletes really struggle with this. I mean, you're an athlete too, hence why you used to struggle with it. But like, also the idea is not every fucking meal needs to be a party in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that I'm saying and advocating that you should be eating like fucking like tilapia with no seasoning and asparagus choking it down, but like herbs and spices go a long way. One, but two, it's like not everything needs to be for entertainment. Like things are meant to be nourishing, and also like your mindset is really important. So like if you suck at cooking, well, get better at cooking so that way you enjoy your food. You know, it's like, but don't make the excuse of, oh, every meal needs to be fun and I need to have like all of the bullshit artificial stuff in order for it to be sustainable. Because it's like, I mean, do you really, or is there a better way to do this and support your goals? Because like not all foods are created equal.
Yeah, I was watching Bro Chat, and they were saying that in prep, they make their food bland because it doesn't increase their need for more food because it tastes good. But in the off season, they'll make, really good tasting meals just to kind of, it's easier for them to kind of choke it down. And obviously these are open bodybuilders. So they're like 700 probably carbs to 1,000 carbs in off season, if not more. But essentially they're saying make it taste better so you can get it down versus
More appealing.
trying
I
to make
get
it taste better in prep just to kind of like use that as a crutch type
So
deal.
interesting. I feel like the mindset of the person is so individual
Yeah.
and makes such a difference.
100%.
There's some people I've worked with that like leaving something small, even with throughout prep, is what gets them to not fuck off on their diet.
Yeah.
But then there's
Yeah.
people like the thought of that would give them anxiety. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, and I'll tell you from like a personal example, like while my food got low for me, and again, it's all relative to me, like I don't give a fuck what someone else needs to do, like, cause it doesn't impact me, but like what got me through each and every day was knowing at the very end of the day, I at least got 2 rice cakes. Like 2 little fucking rice cakes, like I would like literally break them apart and make like in my brain a little charcuterie board of like rice cake crackers, even though it was like rice cakes and some fruit maybe or vegetable. And I would just take my sweet ass time, and I was like, this is getting me through the really hard days. And so those that was my little thing.
My last meal all through prep was creamy.
Yep.
And same thing, like you rotate the flavors of the protein powder, or I would save like carbs for that, for like putting in fruit or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get you through.
It's the Roman Empire meal. Mine was always my pre-workout meal. It was cream of rice with the protein and the nut butter. And it was like, don't talk to me. I put my phone down.
I'm
Like, no
licking the bowl
Yeah. No
several
interruptions.
times.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Like scraping the sample.
I think
like,
there's still some. There's gonna be a little.
Literally,
Yeah.
like the essence of it, you're kind of like if you like drop something on the floor and like your dog or cat like just keeps licking the floor for the next 20 minutes because like
Yeah.
the flavor's gone, but they're like, nah, bitch, I can still taste it.
yeah. Yeah. And then you're
Honestly,
irritable.
I'm glad that I didn't discover this until after my prep was over. So if you guys are in prep, like deep in it, block your ears. But Flavor Gang has recently come out with new flavors for their cream of rice, and they're so fucking good. So
Really?
like the texture of it's different, and the flavors are so much stronger than his initial ones. Because like honestly, I wasn't a huge fan. The only one that I thought was like okay was the brownie batter one.
Dude, that
But
slaps titties.
it's strawberry shortcake and peanut butter cookie, and they're phenomenal.
Well, I might have to get on that, but not gonna lie, like that I had to stop buying that stuff because like even with the code, it was like
It is
cream of
expensive.
rice is one of the most expensive ways to eat rice as a bodybuilder, and it's like obviously the cheapest is just rice in bulk, and then like the second cheapest is just bland ass cream of rice, or just taking your cream of rice that you buy in bulk and blending it yourself.
Yeah.
And then rice cakes from like Publix or Aldi, because like I eat about a sleeve a day, because again I fucking love rice cakes, but for me like and the quantities that I needed when I bought it way back when, like I was like I just can't afford this in a way that's sustainable, and although it's good, like to me it's not worth my health supplements. You know what I'm saying?
So you know what I've done too with the cream of rice, because like you said, it is really expensive, and like my serving of it is 60 grams. So I'll do 30 grams of the cream of rice and then 30 grams of oatmeal, blend them together, like cook it together. So it still has the flavor of that, but I'm using half as much, so it lasts longer.
You know what else works? And I found this out by doing the last show that I did in Albany. Because I wanted to have a post-show. I went up to Albany by myself because my husband had to stay home with the dogs. So I'm like, I don't want to go out to a restaurant. I'm like 3 hours or 2.5 hours away. I just kind of want to go home or eat. But what is my Roman Empire meal? So I made cream of rice. It's so pick me. It's such a pick me meal. Post-show meal. Cream of rice with protein and nut butter, like my usual, right? And then it was watery. So my husband was like, why don't you just add oats? Yeah. So we added oats, like just raw, like quick oats, and then put it in the refrigerator, and it hardened up. Like it was so good. Oh, it was the best. It was the best post-show meal, honestly. That's so like lame to say, but whatever. It was good. It was damn good.
I don't know. I feel like at the time you can make these concoctions that end up better than like actually going out and getting things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the people that know how to cook, it's like, cook for yourself, dog. Like, you don't have to, like, go spend $100 on food and just gorge yourself to be sick. Like, if you, like your meals, have your meal and just don't fucking weigh it out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
just
I
eat.
think that's important too, like figuring out when you are making meal plans and like whether this is communication with your coach or you're on macros and you're allowed to make your own meals or whatever, like choosing things you do actually like. Like I know you said like you don't have to like love every meal, yes, but like things that you actually don't hate at least is going to be a lot easier to follow and not feel so like I need this and this and this, as opposed to if, you know, you are constantly doing things that you don't enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I make myself eat blueberries every single day because I know that they're good for me. And they are by far the worst fucking berry. They suck titties compared to blackberries.
Oh, I totally disagree with you on that
And
one.
that's fine. But like, there's Carolina blackberries that are from, I believe, Mexico. So I'm not really sure how that works. But like, when they are in season, they are sweet as fuck, and those are my favorite berries. But again, like looking at them,
or bad.
yeah, I mean, like berries can be hit or miss. But for me, blueberries, like, again, they're not awful. I like them, but they are my least favorite. But I also understand like the health benefits of the blueberries. So therefore, I include them, I believe, in my diet every single day. But again, like, it's not like I'm including, I don't know, fucking, let's say rutabaga. Like, that's the one thing that if you like cook that, and I know it's like a Polish thing too. Because like my stepdad once made like a rutabaga casserole, and I wanted to just end it all. I was like, this smells like if socks could take a shit and be a vegetable. It was, dude, it's like this root tuber.
Yeah.
Like it smelled vile. And Julia knows because she's Polish, right?
We don't need it. We don't need it.
Oh, okay. So it kind of looks like a turn up.
Be a Highlander thing. I was a city girl.
Okay.
You lived in Poland?
Yeah, I was born there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was born there. I just
How long
became
have you lived there?
I just became a citizen in 2018.
How long have you lived here?
Oh, since I was like 4. That's
Oh.
why I don't have an accent. But like we used to, like my sister and I, we used to go there like every summer. Like all of my family's there except my parents and my sister.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but Juju likes some pierogies. Pierogies I fuck with. Pierogies slap titties.
Yeah. Pierogi are really good, depending on where you go for them. So there's a place in Southie in South Boston. It's called Cafe Polonia, and it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes they do it a little too greasy. But my father's pierogi, oh my gosh, are just everything's from scratch, of course. And it's pretty time consuming and it's a lot of hard work, but damn, it's so good. So
Well, I grew up
good.
with the frozen ones that were always freezer burnt, and they still slap titties to me. You know,
Was it Mrs. T's? Don't tell me it's Mrs. T's.
it was Mrs. T.
So many variables that factor.
Yeah,
I would say the
right.
top tier that comes to mind immediately is it's negatively impacting your health. Like that will
course.
be a long-term repercussion.
Julia,
Yeah.
what says you?
When your pets start to hate you.
Yeah, come on. I got through a whole
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a nice, unique answer. This is where like our answers are going to be biased toward what are important. So if you look at the answers from Laura, Laura says your health. Laura has had so many health challenges that she's overcome, but she also knows her limit when it comes to the sacrifices that you have to do and the health consequences that are recuperated from prep. She has done this for 10 years. She's had multiple preps, some better than others, which is why her answer is like my health. Julia, she fucking like loves her family, of course, and yes, pets are part of that. And she knows when she's acting a certain way where like her dogs and maybe Derek too, like hide, then it's like, okay, well, we need to reevaluate why we're doing. My answer, and I thought a lot about this, I want it to be as unbiased toward my preferences as best as possible. So I'm going to give more of a blanket answer that still applies to anyone, in my opinion. So the answer is along the lines of when it's no longer worth it. Not, am I able to do this? Not guessing if this is for you, not guessing like if you're quitting mentally, but actually reflecting on, am I able to keep going in this certain way? And that can encompass finances, mental peace, health consequences. When you feel that the juice is no longer worth the squeeze, that is likely when you need to call your prep. Because we all bodybuild for very different reasons, and we have all very different priorities in terms of like our wellness, whether it's health, family, financials, yada, yada, yada. But you have to decide for yourself, one, why you're bodybuilding in the first place, why you want to do a contest prep in the first place, and you have to find what is your hard limit before you enter into a prep. You cannot do it when you are balls deep, when you are on drugs, if you choose to be enhanced, because your brain chemistry is altered. So you need an accountability buddy, write it out, whatever you need to do, but it needs to be set in stone before you pull the trigger. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I would say that that also needs to be a solely you deciding opinion for making that call. Like, don't say, oh, I really want to pull out, but I'm going to let down so-and-so, or
Yep.
no, that this is a single person sport. Like, you'll have supporters, you'll have people in your corner, whatever the case is, but this is a you thing. Nobody else should be impacting that decision.
Yeah. And I think it's going through that checklist of I need A, B, C, D, E in a row before I even think about starting a prep. I think those same, like you said, Ash, I mean, I think you hit them all. Finances, health, relationships, all of that. When that goes to shit, then it's time.
It's funny you say that, because I think back to, okay, I started competing when I was 26. That was my first show. I'll be 38 in October. And like financially, things did not even remotely cost back then to compete what they do now. So that's a somewhat new factor into this game. And like, granted, there's certain things you can do it yourself or whatever the case may be. And like, think of the big picture of things. Most people are not coaches as we are, if you want to do your own prep. So like, really save money and do it right if you are in a position like that finances are questionable, to make it an enjoyable experience more than anything. Like, successful is another end of that, but like an enjoyable experience, don't do it until you can afford it.
Yeah. Like, I literally just made a post on this, and one of my clients, and she posted this, so like it's out there. Like, she funded her first prep because her coach told her to. Now, granted, like, yes, she was young. She still was an adult at the time, but her coach was like, you've come too far to quit. So she put on her credit card all of her contest prep, and just now, I feel like a year or two ago, dug herself out of that financial debt. And it took years to pay that off, right? And like, it breaks my heart because like, she is like one of the sweetest people on earth, and like, for a coach to take advantage of that, like, that pissed me off as a coach. But then also like, dude, it's bodybuilding. Yes, we love it, but holy shit, like, it's such a small fraction of your life that like, I just like, to be in debt for bodybuilding financially, like, that just, like I said, that just pissed me off that the coach would even like think to do that.
Yeah. Coach should have sponsored her then.
Yeah, but don't get me started on a GoFundMe, because that's
That is, I feel like that's an
For
entire
competing,
episode.
that's cuckoo.
yeah.
That is,
Yeah.
I knew two girls that did that, and I was like, That is so shameful. But anyway.
Yeah. All right. You want to do a final thought, or do you want to move on to the next question?
No, sorry. Yeah.
All right. Mindset shifts for successful prep. Ooh, that's a great one.
Actually being receptive, whether it's your coach or your loved ones or whatever. So prep is one of these scenarios that maybe not in the very beginning, but once you're in it, like your blinders are on to fucking everything. And like I've been guilty of this too. You don't realize that you're not, keeping up 100% of your responsibilities for your job, or you're neglecting your loved ones, or maybe you're not fucking working hard enough and your coach is giving you that real talk of like, listen, you need to step on it and start giving me more effort because you're not going to make the deadline, or whatever the case may be. You cannot be sensitive. You need to be receptive.
I like that. I think for me, it's like the mindset shift of I don't even know how to describe like how I prepped, but how I did my first show of this season. Don't do that. Don't be so fucking hard on yourself and thinking that it's going to make you better, because I promise you it's going to make you worse, because there's no reason to make prep extra hard, uber hard, hard city central. There's no fucking reason for it, because it is already extremely hard. Because if you want to show up in shape, it is going to be hard. You are going to be fighting against every part of your human biology and psychology to do this. So don't make it any harder by just being so fucking fixated that you lose yourself, because that can happen, because it happened to me. And so rather than doing all of the things for body work and physical therapy, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that in the right dosages, sir, but mental therapy, making sure that you have someone that kind of checks you and keeps you honed in is really important. And I understand that not all therapists want to work with bodybuilders. I get that. I'm very blessed that mine is a bodybuilder herself, so she has more of a positive view on it. But she definitely has challenged me the last 5 weeks in the way that I needed to still understand that this is hard, because it is, but I'm not being hard on myself. I'm holding myself accountable, and there's a big difference in your internal dialogue when you make that mindset shift.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of tied into exactly what you guys said. I think that the body will follow the mind. And I did this in my first prep. I mean, and I think it takes maturity and more preps to kind of learn this. But just because the word prep is now in the vocabulary, I think a lot of, and it's mainly like new competitors that I see it in, they're like, oh, now I'm going to die, or oh, I'm going to be starving. Like, you're not yet. You're not starving yet. You're not even close. Maybe in like, 4 weeks out, 3 weeks out, whatever it may be. But I think that shift, and I think Brittany Justice actually said this in one of the pods that she was on, was that like, your body is going to follow your mind. So if you're constantly negative and saying, oh, I got to do cardio, cardio is going to be a bitch to do. Or, oh, I'm starving, or I'm tired. You're just going to drain yourself. And obviously there gets to a point where, yes, cardio is hard, you're starving and you're draining yourself. But like saying it out loud just because the word prep is now in the vocabulary, and, it's not a way to do it.
Yeah, there's a difference between whining and acknowledging.
Yeah.
Right. And that's your intention. And that was me. It's like, I was thankful that I got to do my cardio and my steps, and I would acknowledge that I am tired. And you know what I said? Every time I said I was tired, I was like, you now owe yourself a clean house, whatever that means. And so what I would do in my depleted, tired ass state, I would either sweep, vacuum, dust, do laundry. Not, and this is something that I am proud of myself, even when I was fucked up. I did not do that to punish myself. I did it because tired people deserve a nice, clean home. That is why I did that. Because when I knew I was fucking tired, Eric was also tired, because even though he's not in prep, he still provides for the family. He still goes to the gym. He has other things that make him tired. But despite the fatigue, we still deserve a nice home that is clean and safe. And so that was like, I feel like the one thing, besides not cheating on my diet or cheating on my cardio, that I didn't fuck up my first like however many fucking weeks in preps, it's January.
Yeah. Yeah. And just thinking about it, I don't know if you guys probably feel this way too, but thinking about it as just one day. Just what do you have to do today? Like, don't worry about today, tomorrow. Don't worry about next week. Don't worry about being 4 weeks out. Just worry about what do you have to do today. You have to do your fasted cardio. Okay, check that off. You have to eat all your meals. Check that shit off. Okay, you go to sleep. Check that shit off. And then you just do it again tomorrow. And I know that's kind of sounds easier said than done, but it really is just that. It's just think about it that one day. Don't think about yesterday. Tomorrow, who cares?
Exactly.
I always in my head, I know it's real stupid. I always compare or like think about prep being like baking a cake. So you're following a recipe, putting in the ingredients, you're weighing the ingredients, you have the amount of ingredients, you're setting the timers, you're baking it you're being baked. You're being baked. And by the end of it, you're ready.
I like
But
that.
you know what I mean? Like it's all the little things that like. I'm also that fucking weirdo that like thrives in prep and loves it. There's like maybe 2 weeks for me that are like I fucking hate everyone, but other than that, I'm pretty good.
Me too.
And see, I want that for my next prep because every once in a while, like if you're in the valley, okay, so this is a really good prep tip. If you're in a valley, and that means like when shit's hard and you're tired and you're angry and you're grumpy and your body hurts and your brain is hurting and maybe you can't stop crying or maybe you have no emotions to give, right? That's a valley. You cannot make logical decisions when you're in a valley, right? And you can also make logical decisions when you're on top of the mountain. Because then it's literally the reverse of that state. You go from a state of maybe depression to then a state of euphoria. Both of those are extremely emotional states. Logic cannot coincide there effectively. So when you're riding the midline, and hopefully you've heard that in Instagram from like level-headed coaches, when you're riding the midline, that is when you can make a most logical decision. Which means before you even enter prep, that is when you need to have those things kind of like worked out, like when we first, kind of got started. But when it comes to like your prep, literally one thing at a time. Like Laura said, you were baking a cake. And as someone that loves to bake, I can tell you that if your things are not in the right order, if they're not room temperature, if it's a gram or a fraction off, it will impact the outcome. Precision is important in baking, and precision is also important in contest prep. So don't cut corners. Don't cheap out. If you're going to do it right, because it is an extreme sport, right? And you are asking a lot of not only yourself, but your family, your support system, your fucking animals, because who you are in prep will change when you are lean. It is not a punishment. It is just reality.
Yeah.
Hence why when I told Josh like 2 weeks before my prep was over that I wanted to redo my boobs, he's like, you're not allowed to make any type of appointments for consults or anything like that until you're at least 3 months away from competing. Like, no. Okay.
Yeah, don't do what I did. Don't do the congratulate. Like if you want to reward yourself not in food the way that I did it and you want to get your boobs done, that's a great reward, right? Like that's what my reward was. Just don't do it fucking 3 days post show. Do it 3 months post show.
I just want to take the time off at this moment, knowing that like I'd like to redo a similar timeline next year, which may happen, it may not, either way, but it will definitely be prolonged if I have to take off, whatever it is, 6 weeks to do that. So
Yeah.
we'll wait.
Is
I
that what
get
it is?
that.
Like 6 weeks out of the gym? It depends on the person, I know that, but
Yeah.
Or just somewhere in there.
on average.
It's usually a little less when it's a redo because you've already had them.
Yeah. All right, next question. Biggest mental growth you achieved outside of bodybuilding? And this question confuses me. So was there any context to it?
That was it. I guess, my initial thoughts, for me at least, was starting bodybuilding as disordered, in short, and then transitioning it to actually being a productive way to care about my health and having a better relationship with food and my body and, why I'm doing things. So something that actually started off really disordered turned into something really good for me.
Yeah, and like that's the thing where it's like bodybuilding is such a intimate part of your life because it's your eating, it's how you move your body, it's sleeping, recovery. like how you take care of your body, how you take care of your mind. It's really hard for me to separate the biggest mental growth, because the biggest mental growth was in bodybuilding, because of bodybuilding, because that's how hard it was for me until I got my noggin on straight. So it's like bodybuilding and competing has a lot of brain benefits that aren't spoken enough about. I'm not saying that like you should do bodybuilding to fix you, because much like Laura, I was disordered as fuck. And what I chose to do bodybuilding was to cherry pick my narrative that what I was doing to myself was a part of the sport. And I can tell you right now, it fucking isn't, because you can do bodybuilding in a way that still demands a lot of expenditure and precision and accuracy and control without controlling every goddamn thing and losing yourself, because that's not bodybuilding. That is a disorder.
I would also say the mind shift that took place was not being afraid of not doing things I didn't want to do. So like for me, the initial disorder would be like, I don't like to party. I don't like to drink. I don't want to do that. But I was weird at the time because that's what everybody else in your 20s did. And it was my like, oh no, I'm not going to go do this or that because I'm getting ready for a contest prep. And that would be respected. And that was all I ever was looking for, was to be accepted and respected, and never felt validated for the fact that I just didn't want to do things and was so mousy that I couldn't tell people that.
Yeah.
What about you, Julia?
Yeah, this is like a loaded question. I was thinking about this over and over again. I think, and as generic as this is going to sound, I feel like what I've learned, and then going outside of bodybuilding and then going into bodybuilding, and it's still a learning process, is do what makes you happy. People are going to talk shit regardless, whether that's planning your wedding, because that was the first lesson that I learned outside of bodybuilding. I'm like, I need this for my wedding, I need this. And I'm like, people are going to talk shit about the food, the flowers, and all that stuff anyways. I'm just going to do it for me and my husband. And likewise with bodybuilding, like people are going to talk shit regardless. They're going to have their own opinion, but at the end of the day, it's about you and what you choose to do with your journey. As cliche as that sounds, it sounds so cliche, but
no, it's not cliche. I mean, it's your journey. Like your why needs to be about you. And if you go into this, like most of us do, disordered or seeking external validation, you are going to come out the other side and not in a good spot, because you are going to be so disappointed because you are chasing something that you will never catch. Right. And that kind of ties into like what we wish we knew before bodybuilding. And it's not that I wish I did it later in life, which I know might come as a surprise, especially to Laura, that thinks she's old as dirt, when in reality, if I look like a snack like her at 38, I am like kissing like the floor right now. Even same for Julia. Like both of them, they think they're old. And like when I found out Julia's age, like 8 months ago, I like pooped my pants at the gym. I was like, send me your fucking photo ID. And she did. And I was like, poop. But regardless, I wish I was maybe not older biologically. I wish I was older mentally. I wish I didn't use bodybuilding as a way to, again, cherry pick my disordered narrative of my eating disorder and my exercise addiction, because herp derp, I'm a bodybuilder, because no, I fucking wasn't. I was a body destroyer, right? That's what it was, is I had to control every facet of my life to feel safe, not realizing that what I was doing was creating a prison. Because that's what it was. It literally held me captive, where I could not have fun or do anything because I was constantly running away from myself and my thoughts. And now that like I am approaching 30, like I'm able to sit down and record a podcast and not feel like I have to do anxiety laps around my house, right? Like once I hit my steps, my feet go up. You know, I watch TV, I'm not watching TV and scrolling on my phone. Like, whatever I am doing, I decide to do, and I do that one thing. And I give it my attention, or whatever brain cell I can give left, considering what I'm asking of my body. So, I don't know if that answers that question about what I wish I knew, but that's what I wish I knew.
That's actually one thing I don't regret, is the fact that, so technically I started competing at 26, but I didn't start any additional things besides just competing as a natural athlete until I was 35. And that was something I kind of wanted to tie into this question when I first read it, more so for listeners than pertaining to myself. But if you look at bodybuilding, I would say majority of the top competitors are, late 20s and under. And I think a big portion of that is early usage of enhancements and uneducated decisions being made to go inside. Women then get to the point where I don't want any of this. I don't want these side effects. I don't want to continue with this. I don't want blah, 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 blah. That could have been avoided if they were properly guided and also weren't in a rush, because that's what it is. Enhancements speed up your timeline, which I understand everyone wants to get to faster. But then when you get there, then what?
Yep,
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree. What about you, Julia?
I wish that I knew before my first show, and this is individual, of course, but it's also general, that the prizes that you win from bodybuilding, the trophies that you win, those collect dust. But like what you take away from this is way more important, whether that's obviously driving your business or creating a new business, creating an income for your family, for sure. The mentality, of course, the mindset, the friendships that you make along the way, the people that you meet along the way, like those things are never going to be taken away from you by a judge or whatever it may be. And they're established by you, not by a judge or a league. So, I mean, as again, cliche as I sound, that's what you get the most out of this versus that shit back there that I have to dust every week and I cuss myself out. I'm like,
I'm proud of you for dusting.
what?
I said I'm proud of you for dusting.
Yeah, it's a lot of dusting back there, but
Look at that arrangement back there, too.
I know,
Yeah,
she's
Justin
got
did that
stacks
with
on
me.
stacks.
you know,
Honestly,
But-
they become like, what do you do with them? I have especially from the, what was it, WNBF. When I won my pro card, that trophy is the size of me. What the fuck do
They're-
you do with
they're enormous for no reason.
what
For
do you
zero
do with
reason.
that?
But I did want that Thor's hammer, so I gotta say I really fucking wanted that shit. Like that's pretty cool. Like that was like
Yes, I got it. Now, what do I do with this?
I love it. That thing is like gonna be buried with me. But the real prizes are meeting you girls, of course, connecting with different people. I've met some beautiful people along the way that are going to be with me until I'm, an elder, even though I already am. And obviously, and the mentality. Yeah.
Old lady jokes back and forth to each other all the time.
Always. But yeah, those are the real prizes. And I wish I knew that before my first show because I was really like, ooh, I got to win that overall. I got to win that overall. And like,
Yeah.
not that I didn't absorb that day, but there was times that I didn't absorb that I should have. Or moments that I should have absorbed.
I really try to steer people away from that mentality. Not because I don't think they'll win or they're capable of winning, but just like to go in with that expectation is putting a lot of pressure on yourself.
Big time.
And there's no fucking guarantee that that's going to happen.
Right. Right.
Yeah. That's why my goal is like literally to just finish. And I know like I went to I was like the hardcore bodybuilder where you had to like, fucking snort like bodybuilding magazines of Jay Cutler in order to be a bodybuilder. Like I was so fucking hardcore do or die bodybuilding. And again, like I posted about today, I'm not saying I'm in the Care Bear, love your farts mentality either. I'm in the midline because bodybuilding is still hard and pain is not fun. It is uncomfortable, right? But I'm also not so hard on myself and taking extra whatever the fuck resources to be hard on myself necessarily. Like I'll call a spade, and if I'm unhappy with a performance, I'll acknowledge that, but I don't linger, right? And so it's like you don't have to be like the love yourself, fluffy nutter, Care Bear bodybuilder, but you also don't need to be the do or die. Like you need to be somewhere in the midline where you can have sustainability and enjoyment and work hard. Like it can be all of those. You have that option. It is not black and white thinking that most bodybuilders tend to gravitate toward.
Right. Right. And honestly, I didn't learn shit from any of those overalls, and I learned so much from losing.
Yeah.
And I'll use Franciele as an example. Franciele Matos, who was undefeated until Issa defeated her, and look how that turned out. You know, there was a lot of back and forth bickering between the two. It was almost secondhand embarrassing to read it, but and disappointing too. You know, and I think that when somebody wins, it's such a curse, because once that loss hits you, it shatters your entire world. And my first loss, I was like, wow, I needed that. I deserved it. I needed it. Like, it is what it is. So, you know, you do. I wish that was and I say that to my girls too, especially the young ones who see these two-show pros and they think that that's the norm, et cetera. And it's great. And that's amazing that that happens, but it's rare. And eventually they're going to lose too. And we all lose a lot in bodybuilding. We lose a lot more than we win. But that's what you learn. You don't learn that from overall.
No.
Yeah.
And another like part of that too is there's so much put on to like working with a lot of clients, and the majority of my clients being lifestyle clients as opposed to majority being prep clients. I'd say maybe 20 prep clients, something like that. If a lifestyle client is doing something and it's not going how it should be, whatever, it's a conversation, like what can you do, how can I help you better, like maybe it's a conversation. If something like that happens between a prep athlete, it's immediately my coach fucked up immediately. As opposed to how can we work on this together. I feel, and I'm not saying this to like pinpoint on anyone or point fingers or anything like that, but I would say, what is the most common thing that you see athletes do after a competition? Leave their coach. And this isn't necessarily just new athletes too. These are seasoned athletes. And most of the time, it's not the coach. Maybe it could be a communication between the athlete and coach, but it's really that there needs to be more time for the athlete to grow, get better, mentally improve, you know, fix posing, presentation, like all of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be self-aware for that. And that's the problem, is too many people go into the sport not self-aware, right? And that's the thing where it's like, why didn't I fire Austin when I lost? Because full transparency, I've never won a fucking show. Like, I think the only time I ever won first place was True Novice. And, like, that was my first ever show. And I think I was literally the only person in that fucking class. Whoopie fucking do, right? But I've never won a fucking show. And am I pissed about it? No. Like, it's, at first I thought I was embarrassed, but I was like, no, not embarrassed either. It just is, because thankfully I got my head on straight and I didn't blame anyone but myself, because it wasn't Austin on stage. He did a phenomenal job peaking me, but I was so fucking awful to myself that nothing would stick to my body. It's not Austin's fault. It's not my posing coach's fault. It's fucking me, dog.
So much that goes into that, but like realistically, I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if I should say this, but I'm gonna anyways.
Fuck it.
Unless you're anything outside of third place at a national show, most likely there needs to be more work done.
Yeah.
Not that you need to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And sometimes that even still may mean that there needs to be more work done, or maybe you are that close that you just need to prolong your season a little bit and come in tighter, or whatever the fuck it could be. You know, there's many different scenarios based on the person, but most of the time it's that you just need to have more time to grow.
Yeah. Or reshape your physique to fit the criteria or whatever it may be. Yeah.
Right. No, I love that, because like it's not that you need to stay with like a shit coach that isn't communicating with you or paying attention to you, because those people are out there. But we're talking like your coach is like showing up for you, like they're servicing the fuck out of you, and you think that they fucked up because, like, one, there's only so many things we can control as athletes and coaches, but there is still room for life. And I feel like a lot of people forget that, because there are things outside of our control that no matter what we do are going to impact our psychology and physiology. So it's like, you have to let that like percent of chance, however much it is, to also be a factor. And at the end of the day, it's like, maybe your coach fucked up, maybe you fucked up, maybe neither of those are the right answer. But it's not, again, black and white, all or nothing. It's like Laura said, you probably just need a better package. And that's not a fucking punishment to, oh my God, now you have to be a bodybuilder again. Like, for crying out loud. Like, I get it's a sport and you want to win, but you want to win because you did a good job and were the best that day. Not like me, a little participation trophy that I was the only fucker that showed up that was 5'7", true novice. Because that's not winning. And again, I think I still have that medal, but like, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's just, like Julia said, collecting dust, and I don't actually dust.
Shit. Yeah, or everything could go perfectly right, you know, and that's just
Sometimes someone's just better than you.
yeah.
That
and
happens too.
or they wanted a harder look or a softer look or whatever. And like at the end of the day, sometimes it's human nature and I'm gonna say it, bias. You know, sometimes they like red suits with blonde hair, like shit. Like, you know, sometimes that happens too. It's not.
That only works if you're Brazilian.
Oh, I know. It's freaking Brazilians, man. But
Yeah, but again, like this sport, like, well, yes, it has criteria. To Julia's point, it is also subjective. Some judges like fuller, maybe softer-ish
right.
looks. Some judges like hard as nails. And we're primarily
That's
talking
really
about like the
Steven
female
Skinner.
divisions, right? Like
Yeah.
I was hard as fuck. Like
Right.
so hard that I lost the goddamn show, and my feedback was essentially go eat pie filling, which I thought was hilarious. Because like, how do you get mad at that? Go eat pie filling. It's like, dog.
They said that to you?
Pretty much. Like he was saying, like you need to be fuller and fill out a lot more. You were way too hard.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a specific.
Well, no, I'm getting to that. And he's like, I remember, he's like, I told him, like, we were eating up until the show and nothing would stick. And he's like, you have to find the right carb source that sticks. And then gave me example of so-and-so, I think she's a professional, where her peak week plan was eating pie filling. And like obviously, I mean, like, I'm not going to eat pie filling because that just sounds vile. Unless I made it, but I'm not fucking doing that. But still, it's like, I wasn't mad at that because one, what a very nice way of saying you need to fill out more to go eat pie filling. Like, that's hilarious to me. And two, it's like, that is your personal feedback, but don't take it so personally. Because, like, it's just his opinion. Austin thought I looked great. I thought I looked horrible because I knew what was going on up here. My husband was like, you look flat. So it's like, did I look great? Did I look awful? Do I need to eat pie filling? Do I look flat? And it's like, there's four fuckers' opinions. And it's just, it was, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's just like, their opinions, it's feedback, take them, make the improvements, but don't like throw in the towel because you're a child. Like, continue to be playful and be childlike, not childish.
Of course. Of course.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any final closing thoughts? I know Laura's got to bounce.
Go Meg.
Oh, yeah. Go, Meg.
That's right. Go Megs!
Go
Because she's still in
Meg.
Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
That's the Atlanta Pro, right? Yeah.
Tomorrow, Saturday.
Sick. All right. Well, good luck, Megan. We love you. All right, ladies. Good chatting with you. See ya.
Bye.